Arnold Palmer tees off in the Masters. Golf records are falling before the clubs of Arnold Palmer.
2 birdies to win. He comes in under par on the 17th. And on the 18th, the big one, he smashes right onto the green.
Looks like another of his patented last-minute victories coming up. Palmer showed nerves of steel and a will of granite. He retains his crown and tightens his hold on the famous cup. Golfing's Man of the Year, Arnold Palmer.
He's waiting for it.
That's better, Jimmy.
Arnold set the standard for this game.
Ernie, please.
He is such a gentleman of the sport.
He's just very electric. When you're around him, you can just feel his presence.
Thank you, Ernie.
He's the king, and that's why I'm out here just to watch him play. It's a privilege.
Thank you, sir.
No golfer in history has captured the imagination and affection of fans across the world like Arnold Palmer.
Thank you, sir. You're awesome.
Since he burst on the scene over half a century ago and revolutionized the way the game was played and perceived, Palmer's popularity has never waned. To his loyal fans, he remains simply the king. Travel to LaTrobe, Pennsylvania, and there's no disguising the influence and success of the town's most celebrated son. Palmer was born here in 1929 and raised an iron shot away from LaTrobe Country Club. His father, Deacon, was first the groundsman and then resident professional. But as a child, Arnold wasn't allowed on the course except with the caddies. By the age of 4, Arnold was swinging his first set of golf clubs and already seemed destined for greatness.
We played games out on the golf course. He would pretend he was Ben Hogan or somebody, and I would hold the flag for his microphone, and he'd say his mother and dad were coming to watch. He always knew he was going to be special, I think.
Arnold Palmer turned professional in 1954 at the age of 25 and stamped his mark on the game like no player before. At the peak of his powers in the 1950s and 60s, Palmer dominated the PGA Tour and won 7 majors. He became the youngest ever winner of the Masters, an event he would conquer 4 times in total. The crowds were enthralled by the sight of this athletic, blue-collar guy with a never-say-die attitude. Fans could relate to his wild swing and charismatic smile. As post-war America boomed and newly popular television started beaming his victories across the nation, Arnold Palmer became golf's first superstar.
It was a good run. And did I think it would happen that way? I'm not so sure that I did. I always felt like I could play pretty well, but I just took things as they came. And the good news is that I won a lot of golf tournaments, and I was very gratified to have had that opportunity.
In 1960, Palmer had traveled to Britain for the Open. At the time, the championship was in decline. Lack of prize money meant that American players were discouraged from making the transatlantic trip. However, the arrival of the world's greatest player and his subsequent victories over the next 2 years were fundamental in attracting the best players from the United States. Palmer had revitalized the game internationally.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, sir. This is very, very lovely.
I haven't given you the money.
As important as his victories were the manner in which they were achieved. Palmer's swashbuckling attacking style enthralled his legions of fans, or Arnie's Army as they became known. Majors would be snatched with last-gasp victories, and sometimes lost in equally dramatic fashion.
I was advised by many people over the years to compromise my style. I wasn't raised that way. I never thought about a compromise. It was go get it, and if I lost, that was okay. I think that was my father's influence, without question. Most of the things that I did in my life and most of the ways that I lived were things that my father taught me and gave me an insight into how I should handle it. I also feel that some of the losses that I had were great experiences for me. And I don't look at them as just a total wipeout. I look at the fact that I did lose and it added to my life.
Whether winning or losing, Palmer's presence was enough to make attendances skyrocket, and prize money increased accordingly. Golf boomed. Palmer was credited for creating the modern game.
I remember, I think it was Hubert Green once said that everybody, when they get their paycheck, should give 25 cents of every dollar to Arnold Palmer, because he created the US tours, wonderful circuit, and around the world, you know, created the interest that got people going. And now golf, of course, played in virtually every country.
Palmer hasn't been a winner for almost 20 years, but is as popular now as he was over 50 years ago. And his legions of fans still love to watch him play. The promise of a rare competitive appearance is reason enough for Arnie's devoted army to remobilize.
Part of the reason that I continue to play with my game, which is a struggle for me now, is the fact that the fans have been so supportive over the years. And it makes me feel pretty good. I suppose that the sad part is that I don't play as well as I'd like to for those people, and repay the support that they give me with a little better golf.
Were it not for the fact that he gets constant appeals from his fans to say, "Don't quit, Arnie, we don't care what you shoot, we want to see you play, we want to see you." And I think that more than anything else has kept him playing when his pride might have forced him to quit playing.
Like yesterday, he played in an event here, and I called him last night, and I couldn't reach him because he was out in the practice range at 5 o'clock last night trying to hit, you know, some balls and work out a few kinks in his swing, so that today he can be just a little better.
While demand for autographs is unceasing, requests are never turned down.
There's a 93-year-old Pittsburgher, Arnold.
Hey, how are you?
Did you sign his hat?
Nice.
Did you sign his hat? Oh, you're so sweet.
Is that Arnie?
Yeah, that's Arnie, Dad.
God bless you, Arnie.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Players must respect the fans. It's how Palmer believes the game should be played.
Good day, sir. Thank you very, very much.
If a player doesn't treat the fans with respect, it's only because he doesn't understand what makes it all happen. He may take it for granted, but shame on him, because that's not what we need. We need people that will perform for the fans and treat the fans as their mainstay to playing the game of golf. Because if the fans all disappear, then there's no game.
Now what I'm really waiting for is someone to come up and say, "Arnie, I got this tractor I'd like you to sign."
Is that Arnold Palmer?
Billy, he's going to want Pennzoil.
Can I get it, Dad?
Sure, go on.
Palmer might not have been the first golfer to endorse products, but he was the first to popularize the sportsman as an advertising pitchman.
The benefits are great.
Whatever you see my name on as far as a product is concerned, whether it's a Rolex watch or whether it's a golf club, I use it myself and enjoy using it.
How do I look?
Palmer's enduring popularity is such that he's more in demand as a spokesman today than during his competitive heyday.
Winning is only transitional. And Arnold really, as a winner, was only a major championship winner over a course of 6 or 7 years. But being successful is a lot more enduring, and people can relate more to that. He was the kid that grew up on the golf courses and, you know, eventually owned a golf course and became friends of presidents and, you know, earned medals of freedom and all that sort of stuff.
Making sure all the...
So I think that more than anything else, what is enduring about him is that he's perceived to be successful.
I guess that's why I've always been sold on Pennzoil protection.
Bay Hill in Orlando, Florida, has been in Arnold Palmer's possession for over 35 years.
Arnold Palmer's office, this is Anne-Marie speaking.
Together with LaTrobe Country Club, they're the two courses Palmer owns outright. And it's from their offices that Arnold Palmer Enterprises operates. Famously, it was a simple handshake deal between Palmer and lawyer Mark McCormack in 1960 that created the modern relationship between sportsmen and sports marketing. The spirit of that gentleman's agreement continues in Palmer's day-to-day business dealings.
Yeah, I know Jack Tucker.
The openness and people skills that created the bond with his fans are the same qualities that lie at the heart of his business success.
In Dallas.
That's why we came here to see you.
This is the place to be.
We're enjoying it.
Palmer's personal off-course earnings, which include endorsements and his golf course design company, exceed $20 million a year. At 76, he remains the highest-earning golfer in the world after Tiger Woods. An example of Palmer's golden touch in business came in the early 90s. Friend and cable television entrepreneur Joe Gibbs approached him with a bold but risky idea. The first ever channel dedicated to a single sport. Palmer came on board and co-founded the Golf Channel with Gibbs. A decade on, the channel reaches 70 million homes and is regarded as the template for any dedicated sports channel.
The PGA Tour, the European Tour, advertisers, they weren't doing business with me. They were doing business because Arnold was my partner. Now, he wasn't the guy there. He wasn't in the chair talking to them. You know, I was the guy running around all over the country putting it all together, but they knew he was my partner. And if Arnold Palmer says he's going to be your partner, that's good enough for most people because he doesn't commit to many things.
All about.
I noticed the biggest galleries are out with you.
I think they'll grow over the week.
You know, people have said to me, well, what did he do? Well, he didn't do anything, but maybe he did it all, you know. You've got to look at it both ways.
I've been flying for almost 50 years, and short of my family and the game of golf, it is one of the great loves that I have in this world.
Dawn at Orlando International Airport, and Arnold Palmer prepares to take to the skies.
I'm ready if you're ready. I'm ready. We have 2 good engines, 2 airspeeds.
As usual, Palmer is at the controls of his Cessna Citation 10, the fastest private jet in the world.
1508, contact back to Lufthansa 134.0.
And I'll clean it up.
This state-of-the-art jet is just the latest embodiment of a lifelong love of flying. Over the last half-century, Palmer has logged over 18,000 hours at the controls of a dazzling array of aircraft. What began as a way to cut travel time on tour developed into a lifelong passion.
It takes you away from the normal course of everything I do, practicing my golf and playing golf. Flying is a whole different situation, and it's a challenging situation that you have to work hard, you have to concentrate to be able to fly and to fly very well. Sometimes when you lose, it's a way to forget the fact that you lost and get some of your frustrations out in enjoying the airplane.
I was an instructor in the Air Force a good part of my career, so I've flown with a lot of guys, and I've told him, honestly told him a number of times, he'd have fit right in some of the best units I was ever in as a fighter pilot. He'd have handled it well. He'd have thrived on it, I think.
Morning.
Morning, Mr.
How are you?
Morning. You want me to change shirts?
Please.
There's no transcontinental jet setting on this occasion. Today's destination is just a short hop down the Florida coast for the inauguration of yet another Arnold Palmer designed course.
Good morning.
Hello, Liz.
How are you?
Good weather report, Liz.
Palmer's influence on the game is as strong as ever, thanks to his work as a golf course architect. Tesoro Golf and Country Club is just one of over 300 Palmer-designed courses across the world. His pioneering work saw him design the very first golf course in China over 25 years ago.
Look right here, please.
My objective in building and designing golf courses is to challenge the pros. And that means a difficult golf course with length and so on. But it's also important to do it for the people who really support the golf course. And those people are anything from scratch to 20 or 30 handicap. And you must make the golf course so that they can enjoy playing and enjoying what you've done in building a golf course. That's my challenge. Really adopted some new stretches.
Palmer opens the Tesoro course and takes a golf clinic.
Golf game and
Time for Palmer the showman to take center stage.
well, how many of you played this golf course? Oh, great. Do you like it? Yeah. It's outstanding, isn't it?
Challenging. He's very comfortable in public. He's never been one to duck out a back door to avoid a crowd out front. He just wades right in. He likes people. He likes to be with people, and they sense that. They like him because he's friendly. He looks at them. He's great eye to eye. He's a great eye contact guy. Women admire him because he's a good-looking man, too.
Have you changed your swing as you matured?
My swing has not really basically changed, but when I get a little older, I may have to make some dramatic changes.
I'm truly amazed at how well he does, because it was something he did not like to do. I remember when we were in high school, Arnie was in class night, of course, because he was the sportsman of the whole school, and he's had a lot of publicity already. But he wouldn't get up on stage and talk in front of anybody. So they had him hitting luminous golf balls off the stage. And that was his part at class night. And now he kind of likes it. He enjoys it.
1, 2, 3.
Palmer's common touch is such that he's equally at home with the general public or presidents alike. Palmer's office in LaTrobe chronicles meetings, awards, and even a few golf tips shared with almost every commander-in-chief over the last 50 years. And one in particular made a lasting impression.
He was a great man. One of the most fantastic people I have ever had the privilege to know and to talk to. I had met President Eisenhower prior to winning the Masters in 1958. We became very close friends and spent, oh golly, probably the next 15 years in each other's company quite a lot, and he was great in a conversation, and of course, what a life he had. And of course, from time to time, he talked about his life, and that was most enjoyable.
After a day spent as the center of attention, For Arnold Palmer, relaxation comes in his workshop. Working on and modifying golf clubs has been a Palmer trait since his earliest days.
It's a release for me. It releases the tension. If I spend a day or half a day in the office, I can go get into the golf clubs and start working on them, and I relax. I have sort of a mini shop here in my garage. It isn't nearly as extensive as what I have in LaTrobe.
Almost every golf club Arnold Palmer has owned since he took up the game as a 4-year-old are housed at his workshop and warehouse at LaTrobe Country Club. It's a vast collection.
We haven't counted them lately, but there are, we think, about 12,000 golf clubs, along with his huge collection of putters. Probably 2,000 putters or more. He is truly a club collector. Somebody probably would dispute it, but I think it's probably the largest private collection of golf clubs in the world.
Along with the clubs, the warehouse contains the paraphernalia, products, photographs and tributes that have been amassed over the decades. Everything has been itemized and categorized. Nothing has been discarded.
Once in a while, a club goes for a very worthwhile charity, but by and large, he is a hoarder. A pack rat, as some people like to say.
The father and son tournament in Florida. Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus renew old rivalries one more time. While Jack partners son Jackie, Palmer tees up with Sam Saunders. He may not carry the Palmer surname, but Arnie's grandson certainly has the Palmer golfing genes. Crowned Florida State High School champion as a junior, a professional career beckons after he completes college. Naturally, some advice from his grandfather hasn't gone amiss either.
Not even sure why I'm getting Jack.
I don't either.
He's kept it pretty simple with me throughout the years. You know, we work on my game occasionally, but he just makes sure I am doing the right things, and if he ever sees me doing something that he doesn't like, he'll give me a little tip.
He has a potential for some of the greatest golf that has ever come on, and to be able to watch him and see what he does, and the thrill of having a grandson that can play as well as he does is just wonderful.
Playing, guys. Well, how about 15? Yeah.
At a time in life when most people would consider slowing down, Arnold Palmer retains his competitive drive. His time is now split between his 2 golf courses, running Arnold Palmer Enterprises, while still devoting as much time as possible to his extensive charity work. But this true legend of the game is never happier than when practicing the sport he's dedicated his life to.
My love for the game is still as great as it has ever been. My disappointment is that I can't shoot the kind of scores that I once did. But I'm also to the point where I understand that. I try to do something about it and treat it as something that I continue to work on. And somewhere in the bottom of it all lies the fact that I enjoy working on it. And I'm like any other amateur golfer or beginning golfer. I always think, well, tomorrow will be better.